Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to Morning Stir and Through the Bible with Yolanda Worldwide. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. I just want to say welcome to those of you who are joining in as replay viewers. Go ahead and leave your mark with a hashtag replay. If you're joining in as a first timer, go ahead and let me know that as well. Please be sure to click that subscribe button so that you don't miss anything in the future. And to my people, welcome back. Number one, go ahead and number one, those of you who are joining me live, I'm messing up my words here. Number one, go ahead and greet me in whatever way you do in your part of the world. Number two, let me know where in the world you are joining in from. Number three, please help me by clicking the little thumbs up on the screen. Number four, please help me share this broadcast far and wide. And number five, if you are, go ahead and let me know in the chat. I'm stirred up. I'm stirred up. And if you're like me, I'm always stirred all the way up. I'm going to dive straight way in so that we can get as far as we can in reading the word. I'll be praying in the spirit for a few minutes. Then I'll share anything the Lord lays on my heart. And then we will go into reading the word of God. Please stick around, have some important announcements to give you with some things that's coming up. Let's begin to pray. Rakatamandi ikarakata, roko tananamandi ikarakata, rekete de bakoshata, Mandi e karakata, rikete de bakoshata, rikete de bakoshandi ele bakoshata, rikete de bakoshata, rakatanana mandia korike de bataya, rikete de bakoshataya, rikete de bakoshataya, rikete de bakoshataya, rikete de bakosha, randi e karakata, rikete de bakoshata, rikete de bakoshataya, rikete bakoshete, rikete bakoshande, rakatata bakoshete, rikete bakoshata, rakatata bakoshata, rikete bakoshata, rikete bakoshata, rikete ayara bakoshata, rakatayala bakoshata, rikete bakoshatande, roko shandi ile de bakoshata, rakatata bakoshaya, rikete bakoshatandi ele bakoshata, rakatata bakoshata, rikete bakoshande ki ele de bakoshata, rikete bakoshande, roko ta, rikete bakoshande, roko ta bakoshe, rakatata bakoshe, rakatata bakoshande, roko ta bakosha, mandi ikarakata yala bakoshata, rikete bakoshande, roko tatataya, rikete bakosha, randi ikarakata, rikete bakoshande, roko tananamandi ikarakata, Rakatata bakoshaya, rekete bakoshandi ikarakata, rekete bakoshaya, rekete bakoshandi ikarakata, rekete bakoshataya, rekete yala bakoshata, randi ikarakata, rekete bakoshiaya, rekete bakoshataya, rekete bakoshaya, rekete bakoshite ya yarabataya, rekete yada bakoreke bataya, rekete bakoshi yada bataya, rekete yada bakoreke bataya, rekete bakoshandi ikarakata, rokota nanamandi ikarakata, rekete bakoshataya, rekete yada bakoshata, rakata yala bakoshate, rokota bakoshata, rekete bakoshande, mandi ikarakata, mandi ikarakata, rekete bakoshaya, rekete bakoshaya, rekete bakoshataya, rekete bakoshaya rabakoshata, rakatata baya da bakosheya, rakataya rabataya, oh rekete baya. What I hear in my spirit, what I heard in my spirit just a moment ago, I heard the words pushed through it, that this is the season that even though the Lord had promised some things and there's going to be breakthrough and there's going to be momentum momentum. There is also going to be there's also going to be resistance over what and up against what the Lord is going to do. And so the Lord is saying that even when the resistance come, you're going to have to push through it. You're going to have to push through it. That some things are not going to come by easy, that is going to require your endurance. You will have to push through it. And even the times past is going to try to overwhelm you. Things that I tried this before and I would get so close and it wouldn't happen. Eventually, you would see that it wasn't going to happen. But the Lord is saying that you're going to have to put those things aside and you're going to have to put those things behind. And even as Philippians chapter 3, verse 13, the believers were urged to forget about the past, that you cannot worry about the things of the past. You're going to have to press toward the goal, the momentum to win the prize for which God has called you heavenward in Christ Jesus. You're going to have to push forward if you are going to expect to finish strong and step into the fullness of the momentum that God is bringing. Just because momentum is coming, it does not absolve us of warfare, but it does come with the protection of God. It does come with the manifestation of the promises of God, because God has said, as we've talked about before in Jeremiah 1 and 12, God said to Jeremiah, I am ready to perform my word. So push forward in this season, says the Spirit of the living God. Now let us go into the reading of the word today and get as far as we can go. We are starting off in chapter 37, and we're going to get as far as we can go today. We're finishing up Ezekiel today, by the way. I mean, not today. Ooh, I wish. This week. I'm pretty sure we'll get through it this week. At chapter 36 in Ezekiel, the Message version where we're starting. And now, Son of man, prophesy to the mountains of Israel. Say, mountains of Israel, listen to God's message. God the Master says, because the enemy crowed over you, good. Those old hills are now ours. Now here is a prophecy in the name of God, the Master, because nations came at you from all sides, ripping and plundering, hauling pieces of you off every which way, and you've become the butt of cheap gossip and jokes. Therefore, mountains of Israel, listen to the message of God, the Master, my message to mountains and hills, to ditches and valleys, to the heaps of rubble and the empty towns that are looted for plunder and turned into jokes by all the surrounding nations. Therefore, says God, the Master, now I'm speaking in a fiery rage against the rest of the nations, but especially against Edom, who in an orgy of violence and shameless insolence robbed me of my land. Grab it for themselves. Therefore, prophesy over the land of Israel. Preach to the mountains and hills, to every ditch and valley, the message of God, the Master. Look, listen, I'm angry and I care. I'm speaking to you because you've been humiliated among the nations. Therefore, I, God, the Master, am telling you that I've solemnly sworn that the nations around you are next. It's their turn to be humiliated. But you, mountains of Israel, will burst with new growth, putting out branches and bearing fruit for my people Israel. My people are coming home. Do you see? I'm back again. I'm on your side. You'll be plowed and planted as before. I'll see to it that your population grows all over Israel, that the towns fill up with people, that the ruins are rebuilt. I'll make this place teem with life, human and animal. The country will burst into life, life and more life. Your towns and villages full of people, just as in the old days. I'll treat you better than I ever have. and you realize that I am God. I'll put people over you, my own people, Israel. They'll take care of you, and you'll be their inheritance. Never again will you be a harsh and unforgiving land to them. God the Master says, because you have a reputation of being a land that eats people alive and makes women barren, I'm now telling you that you'll never eat people alive again, nor make women barren. Decree of God, the Master. And I'll never again let the taunts of outsiders be heard over you, nor permit nations to look down on you. You'll no longer be a land that makes women barren. Decree of God the Master. God's message came to me. Son of man, when the people of Israel lived in their land, they polluted it by the way they lived. I poured out my anger on them because of the polluted blood they poured out on the ground. And so I got thoroughly angry with them polluting the country with their wanton murders and dirty gods. I kicked them out, exiled them to other countries. I sentenced them according to how they had lived. Wherever they went, they gave me a bad name. People said, these are God's people, but they got kicked off his land. I suffered much pain over my holy reputation, which the people of Israel blackened in every country they entered. Therefore, tell Israel, message of God, the Master, I'm not doing this for you, Israel. I'm doing it for me to save my character, my holy name, which you've blackened in every country where you've gone. I'm going to put my great and holy name on display, the name that has been ruined in so many countries, the name that you blackened wherever you went. Then the nations will realize who I really am, that I am God when I show my holiness through you so that they can see it with their own eyes. For here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you out of these countries, gather you from all over, and bring you back to your own land. I'll pour pure water over you and scrub you clean. I'll give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I'll remove the stone heart from your body and replace it with a heart that's God-willed, not self-willed. I'll put my spirit in you and make it possible for you to do whatever I tell you and live by my commandments. You once again live in the land I gave your ancestors. You'll be my people. I'll be your God. I'll put you out of that stinking pollution. I'll give personal orders to the wheat fields, telling them to grow. My God, I'll give personal orders to the wheat fields, telling them to grow bumper crops. I'll send no more famines. I'll make sure your fruit trees and field crops flourish. Other nations won't be able to hold you in contempt again because of famine. And then you'll think back over your terrible lives, the evil, the shame, and be thoroughly disgusted with yourselves, realizing how badly you've lived, all those obscenities you've carried out. I'm not doing this for you. Get this through your thick heads. Shame on you. What a mess you made of things, Israel. Message of God, the Master. On the day I scrub you clean from all your filthy living, I'll also make your cities livable. The ruins will be rebuilt. The neglected land will be worked again, no longer overgrown with weeds and thistles, worthless in the eyes of passersby. People will exclaim, why this weed patch has been turned into a Garden of Eden, and the ruined cities smashed into oblivion are now thriving. The nations around you that are still in existence will realize that I, God, rebuild ruins, then replant empty waste pieces. I, God, said so, and I'll do it. And I'll do it. Message of God, the Master. Yet again, I'm going to do what Israel asked. I'll increase their population as with a flock of sheep, like the milling flocks of sheep brought for sacrifices in Jerusalem. During the appointed feast, the ruined cities will be filled with flocks of people, and they'll realize that I am God. Chapter 37, God grabbed me. God's Spirit took me up and set me down in the middle of an open plain strewn with bones. He led me around and among them a lot of bones. My God, there were bones all over the plain, dry bones bleached by the sun. He said to me, Son of man, can these bones live? I said, Master, only you know that. He said to me, prophesy over these bones, dry bones. Listen to the message of God. God, the master, told the dry bones, watch this. I'm bringing the breath of life to you and you'll come to life. I'll attach sinews to you, put meat on your bones, cover you with skin, and breathe life into you. You'll come alive and you'll realize that I am God. I prophesied just as I'd been commanded. As I prophesied, there was a sound, an old rustling. The bones moved and came together bone to bone. I kept watching. Sinews formed, then muscles on the bones, then skin stretched over them, but they had no breath in them. He said to me, prophesy to the breath, prophesy, Son of man, tell the breath, God the master says, come from the four winds, come breath, breathe on these slain bodies, breathe life. So I prophesied just as he commanded me. The breath entered them and they came alive. They stood up on their feet, a huge army. Then God said to me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Listen to what they're saying. Our bones are dried up. Our hope is gone. There's nothing left of us. Therefore prophesy, tell them, God the master says, I'll dig up your graves and bring you out alive. Oh, my people, then I'll take you straight to the land of Israel. When I dig up graves and bring you out as my people, you'll realize that I am God. I'll breathe life into you and you'll live. Then I'll lead you straight back to your land and you'll realize that I am God. I've said it and I'll do it. God's decree. God's message came to me, you son of man, take a stick and write on it for Judah with his Israelite companions. Then take another stick and write on it for Joseph, Ephraim's stick, together with all his Israelite companions. Then tie the two sticks together so that you're holding one stick. When your people ask you, are you going to tell us what you're doing? Tell them, God the master says, watch me. I'll take the Joseph stick that is in Ephraim's hand with the tribes of Israel connected with him and lay the Judah stick on it. I'll make them into one stick. I'm holding one stick. Then take the sticks you've inscribed and hold them up so the people can see them. Tell them, God the Master says, watch me. I'm taking the Israelites out of the nations in which they've been exiled. I'll gather them in from all directions and bring them back home. I'll make them one nation in the land on the mountains of Israel and give them one king over all of them. Never again will they be divided into two nations, two kingdoms. Never again will they pollute their lives with their no God idols and all those vile obscenities and rebellions. I'll save them out of all their old sinful haunts. I'll clean them up. They'll be my people. I'll be their God. My servant David will be king over them. They'll all be under one shepherd. They'll follow my laws and keep my statutes. They'll live in the same land I gave my servant Jacob, the land where your ancestors lived. They and their children and their grandchildren will live there forever, and my servant David will be their prince forever. I'll make a covenant of peace with them that will hold everything together, an everlasting covenant. I'll make them secure and place my holy place of worship at the center of their lives forever. I'll live right there with them. I'll be their God. They'll be my people. The nations will realize that I, God, make Israel holy when my holy place of worship is established at the center of their lives forever. Chapter 38. Chapter 38. God's message came to me, Son of man, confront Gog from the country of Magog, head of Meshech, of and Tubal, to and Tubal, prophesy against him. Say, God, the master says, be warned, Gog, I am against you, head of Meshach and Tubal. I'm going to turn you around, put hooks in your jaws, and drag you off with your whole army, your horses and riders in full armor, all those shields and bucklers and swords, fighting men armed to the teeth. Persia and Cush and Put will be in the ranks, also well armed, as will Gomer and his army, and Beth Togarmah out of the north with its army. Many nations will be with you. Get ready to fight, you and the whole company that's been called out. Take charge and wait for orders. After a long time, you'll be given your orders. In the distant future, you'll arrive at a country that has recovered from a devastating war. People from many nations will be gathered there on the mountains of Israel for a long time. Now a wasteland, these people have been brought back from many countries and now live safe and secure. You rise like a thunderstorm and roll in like clouds and covered the land, you and the mass troops with you. Message of God, the master. At that time, you'll start thinking things over and cook up an evil plot. You'll say, I'm going to invade a country without defenses, attack an unsuspecting, carefree people going about their business, no gates to their cities, no locks on their doors, and I'm going to plunder the place, march right in and clean them out. This rebuilt country, risen from the ashes, these returned exiles and their booming economy centered down at the navel of the earth. Sheba and Dedan and Tarshish traders, all out to make a fast buck, will say, so you've opened a new market for plunder. You've brought in your troops to get rich quick. Therefore, son of man, prophesy. Tell Gog a message from God, the master. When my people Israel are established securely, will you make your move? Will you come down out of the far north, you and that mob of armies charging out on your horses like a tidal wave across the land, and invade my people Israel, covering the country like a cloud? When the time's ripe, I'll unleash you against my land in such a way that the nations will recognize me, realize that through you, Gog, in full view of the nations, I am putting my holiness on display. A message of God the Master years ago when I spoke through my servants, the prophets of Israel. Wasn't it you I was talking about? Year after year, they prophesied that I would bring you against them. And when the day comes, Gog, you will attack that land of Israel. Decree of God the Master. My raging anger will erupt, fueled by blazing jealousy. I'll tell you that then there will be an earthquake that rocks the land of Israel. Fish and birds and wild animals, even ants and beetles, and every human being will tremble and shake before me. Mountains will disintegrate. Terraces will crumble. I'll order all out war against you. Gog, decree of God the master, Gog, killing Gog on the mountains of Israel. I'll deluge Gog with judgment, disease, and massacre, torrential rain and hail, volcanic lava pouring down on you and your mobs of troops and people. I'll show you how great I am, how holy I am. I'll make myself known all over the world. Then you will realize that I am God. Chapter 39, Son of man, prophesy against Gog, say a message of God, the master, I am against you, Gog, head of Meshach and Tubal. I'm going to turn you around to drag you out of the far north and down on the mountains of Israel. Then I'll knock your bow out of your left hand and your arrows from your right hand. On the mountains of Israel, you'll be slaughtered, you and all your troops and the people with you. I'll serve you up as a meal to carry on birds and scavenging animals. You'll be killed in the open field. I've given my word, decree of God the Master. I'll set fire to Magog and the far off islands where people are so seemingly secure, and they'll realize that I am God. I'll reveal my holy name among my people Israel. Never again will I let my holy name be dragged in the mud. Then the nations will realize that I, God, am the Holy in Israel. It's coming. Yes, it will happen. This is the day I've been telling you about. People will come out of the cities of Israel and make a huge bonfire of the weapons of war, piling on shields large and small, bows and arrows, clubs and spears of fire. They'll keep going for 7 years. They won't need to go into the woods to get fuel for the fire. There'll be plenty of weapons to keep it going. They'll strip those who stripped them. They'll rob those who robbed them. Decree of God the Master. At that time, I'll set aside a burial ground for Gog in Israel at Travelers' Rest, just east of the sea. It will obstruct the route of travelers blocking their way, the mass grave of Gog and his mob of an army. They'll call the place Gog's mob. Israel will bury the corpses in order to clean up the land. It will take them 7 months. All the people will turn out to help with the burials. It will be a day for the people when it's all done, and I'm given my due. Men will be hired full time for the cleanup burial operation and will go through the country looking for defiling, decomposing corpses. At the end of the 7 months, there'll be an all out final search. Anyone who sees a bone will mark the place with a stick so the buriers can get it and bury it in the mass burial site. Gog's mob, a town nearby, is called Mobville or Hamona. That's how they'll keep up the land. Son of man, God the Master says, call the birds, call the wild animals, call out, gather and come. Gather around my sacrificial meal that I'm preparing for you on the mountains of Israel. You'll eat meat and drink blood. But you'll eat off the bodies of great heroes and drink the blood of famous princes as if there were so many rams and lambs, goats and bulls, the choicest grain-fed animals of Bashan. At the sacrificial meal I'm fixing for you, you'll eat fat till you're stuffed and drink blood till you're drunk. At the table I set for you, you'll stuff yourselves with horses and riders, heroes and fighters of every kind. Decree of God, Master. I'll put my glory on display among the nations, and they'll all see the judgment I execute, see me at work, handing out judgment. From that day on, Israel will realize that I am their God, and the nations will get the message that it was because of their sins that Israel went into exile. They were disloyal to me, and I turned away from them. I turned them over to their enemies, and they were all killed. I treated them as their polluted and sin-sated lives deserved. I turned away from them, refused to look at them. But now I will return Jacob from exile. I'll be compassionate with all the people of Israel, and I'll be zealous for my holy name. Eventually, the memory will fade, the memory of their shame over their betrayals of me when they lived securely in their own land, safe and unafraid. Once I've brought them back from foreign parts, gathered them in from enemy territories, I'll use them to demonstrate my holiness with all the nations watching. Then they'll realize for sure that I am their God. For even though I sent them off into exile, I will gather them back to their own land, leaving not one soul behind. After I've poured my spirit on Israel, filled them with my life, I'll no longer turn away. I'll look them full in the face. Decree of God the Master. And we're going to stop right there at chapter 39 and pick up at chapter 40 tomorrow. Here are my announcements for today. Listen, I am going live tonight here on this platform, YouTube. I'm also going live on Facebook. I may try to go live on some other platforms. I'm not sure. It'll be like first time me doing all the multiples, but I will definitely be live here and on Facebook tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be talking about my one word, challenging you to let God give you one word as well. And then I also want to announce to you to be with me tomorrow night for the very first Disciple Me with Yolanda Worldwide of the year. Disciple Me with Yolanda Worldwide happens on the first Tuesday of every month. So please be with me for that. I love you with the love of Jesus.